What's going on, everybody? It's been a while. I didn't think I was going to do any videos like this where I'm talking about a topic as opposed to a video game topic, but I just got through watching well, not the latest feedback, but one of the more recent feedbacks on the G4 site about about violent video games. And by the way, I hope I'm allowed to reference that company and that website without getting in trouble. Why would I get in trouble? I'm not being paid for anything. Moving on. I wanted to talk about the whole violent video game things because of how, to be blunt, ludicrous it all is. The case that feedback was specifically talking about was the guy who killed 77 plus people, and in his 1,500-page manifesto, he claimed to do so by training with the Call of Duty games. I don't remember which game it was specifically. Doesn't matter. Any of the Call of Duty games will do. They're all the same anyway. Um, My problem, there's a couple of different problems with this entire thing, but I'll start with this, that I won't discourage the fact that he did use the game to prepare for his horrific event, but to blame the game because he trained with it is like blaming the gun when somebody shoots somebody else. It's not the gun's fault. The gun is just a tool. It's the same as a pencil, the same as a pair of scissors, the same as a flamethrower, the same as a nuclear missile. They're only horrible, well actually nukes are probably horrible no matter what, but they're only horrible if used by horrible people. You can kill somebody with your bare hands, so to blame Call of Duty for killing anybody is insane. And by the way, I don't even like the game. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm just defending video games on the principle that they are just tools. They are nothing more than entertainment. You can't kill somebody because of a movie, because of a TV show, because of a video game, because of a book. It's all about who you are in the first place. The main thing that always seems to be ignored, be it violent video game cases, or cases against, books that influence people, or children screwing up in school even, is the parents themselves being blamed. And it might be generational. It might go back to their parents and their parents and their parents and so on and so forth down the line. A big history of abuse that created the monsters we have today, or any day. But instead, the law or the courtroom or the parents or the judges or the media, in this case, will always blame the thing that they want to blame, the violent source, so to speak, instead of the actual source, which is the parents. People aren't influenced by sources outside of their home. It's all dependent on the parents. Even if it was true that a violent video game could entirely affect a person, it would still be the parents' fault for not controlling their children and stopping them from playing the game in their home. They're the adults. They make the decisions. If there's something actually exists that can influence their child to do something so terrible, they are to be held responsible for allowing their children access to it. Now, obviously, there would be cases that would be excluded from this, where the child gets abducted, or he's playing whatever at another friend's house or whatever. But of course, there are exceptions. There's always exceptions to the rule. That's what makes them rules in the first place. So now we have another case where somebody's killed a bunch of people, and they're blaming a video game or anything in any form of media as the culprit as to why the violence happened. And this has been going on ever since the dawn of people, the dawn of man, that sounds a lot better if you say it that way, dawn of man, where they blame the video games, comic books, literature, art, religion, although actually religion's a fair thing to blame. But never mind that. I don't want to be unfair in this vid. But the thing is, here's the reality, and it's a stark reality that a lot of people don't like to think about. Man, and by that I mean men and women, human beings, are not very nice creatures all the time. There is always a trend in us to do violent things. It's sad to say, and most of us have it under control. We've evolved over the billions of years to control it, for the most part, so that we don't go around killing each other and raping women and kicking kids out of our way. We've evolved, but our base genes, where we come from, is a horrible, violent tendency. Ever since two guys saw the same girl and they both went, wow, I'd like to be with that, and then they heard the other guy say the same thing, there has been violence and killing. Now, I'm not even blaming it on intimacy or sex. It's just a matter of the fact that human beings are violent creatures. I know it sucks, and sometimes it's horrible to think about, but it is the truth. I do want to talk about this particular case, the Call of Duty shooter, specifically, just for a little bit. In case you didn't hear it before when I said it, or you don't know anything about the case, he did write a 1,500-page manifesto. 1,500 pages. Now, I've written a lot in my time, but to write 1,500 pages about killing that real people is pretty awful. It proves in the first place that the guy was crazy. And by the way, everybody who kills a ton of people is crazy. Warlords, mass murderers, and so on. They're all crazy. And that's the point. So ultimately, my conclusion of this video is a plea that no one important enough will ever hear. And it's not an insult to you guys, because I mean the media. Although I hate calling the media important, but you get my point. Please stop harping on the entertainment sources of all of our cultures. By all of ours, I mean all of ours throughout human history, as the cause of violence. It doesn't make any sense, and you know it doesn't make any sense. There has never been any reason to blame any of them except for your sensationalization of those entertainment sources. They make great news. We all understand that. We all know you're full of crap. We want you to back off. Please start reporting the actual news. Please. I do have one more thing to say directed towards those who blame violence on video games who aren't in the media. This would be the parents, teachers, judges, and older people. Now, by older people, I know it seems insulting, but you're not going to find a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds who blame violence on video games. We know it's absurd, the same way that back in the day, you knew that blaming violence on comic books was absurd. See, the thing is, when your child goes haywire, it is your fault. You're responsible for parenting them, raising them, nurturing them, influencing them with the right decisions and morals. And yes, I know there are some exceptions. I've already said this. I'm repeating myself. But to put a fine point on it, it's your fault if your child goes bad. That's all there is to it. Sucks to say. And by the way, as a reminder again, humans have always been violent. So it's another thing we always have to contend with. Please stop blaming entertainment.